Manchester United not done in the transfer window just yet. Happy Friday, people. Happy Friday. And it is a happy Friday. It's happy Friday because Manchester United are now sorting the goalkeeping issues out. Yes, we've signed a goalkeeper. We know that Lemmy is here and he is here to stay. And hopefully he is going to be the guy that Manchester United look at for the rest of the season and moving forward, with Vitek coming back as well. But Manchester United doing all the right moves. Manchester United are now today actively looking to get rid of Bayindir or Onana, or both. And there's a big question to be asked with this. Two parts. I always say two parts, don't I? But I will go with two parts. Two parts of the actions of this. So the first thing is Manchester United know that these goalkeepers are not good enough. I think Ruben Amorim, after the first 4 games of this season, has pretty much made his mind up. With interest in both Onana and Bayindir from both Turkey and Saudi Arabia, this is looking like something that could happen in the next week. We said that we wanted these keepers gone. Yes, they should have been gone a long time ago. And my argument will always be, why didn't we get Lemmy in so much quicker? However, Manchester United are focusing now on getting rid of one of these players, getting them out of the club. And for me, I think the person that they're looking most likely to get rid of is Onana. I think they are literally pushing that guy out of the club as quick as they can, kicking and screaming. He's away on international duty at the moment. We know that. And we also know that there was a lot of bad taste left in the mouth from the start of the season, where Manchester United had him come back to Carrington and say, you need to pay me more money. We did a video on that. If you haven't checked it already, make sure you do. It is in the live shows. Manchester United now have, for me, have put themselves in a situation because it has to be Onana that goes. The title is It's Time to Go. It has to be Onana that goes. We can't believe I'm saying this, but we can't keep Onana and get rid of Bayindir. For the simple fact of the matter, I think with the goalkeeper we've signed in Lemmy, we are in a very, very big situation here of risking our goalkeeper before he's even started with us. My personal opinion is on this, I genuinely see a world where we get rid of Onana in this transfer window. We keep Bayindir. I think Bayindir will start in goal for the next 2 games unless he does something horrifically wrong against City. And then I think we will see Lemmy sort of ushered into the goalkeeping job pretty sharpish. Please remember with Lemmy, and I want you to remember this, please, please, please. And if you're watching this, by the way, make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I want you to remember that Lemmy is a young goalkeeper by any standard. He's 23 years old. We have to make sure that we are going to be there. He's going to make mistakes. This kid is going to make mistakes. He has got to work so hard now in making himself the goalkeeper for Manchester United. And I tell you something, we saw a young goalkeeper join Manchester United and go on to be a club legend who made mistakes, who was too weak for crosses, who made silly little foolish mistakes passing the ball out from the back. His name was David De Gea. So I honestly feel like Manchester United now have got to nurture this kid, but also act with nature. If you don't know what nurture and nature is, nurture, you give them the help they need, but nature, sometimes you just have to throw them in. I think this is great. I think we've got something that we can really, really get excited about here. We know it's not an incoming transfer. The transfer window is finished for us in the terms of incomings. However, outgoings is still key, and it's still something that we should actively be pursuing. The Manchester United clear out, we went through all of the squads last night. We went through all of the incomings that have happened over the years. And these 2 goalkeepers come at a time where Manchester United needed a different direction with goalkeeping. Now, I think, is the right time to get rid of one of them. 2 of them, if you could. I'm still not opposed to going through the season with Lemmy and Heaton. I don't even mind saying that. It can sound silly, it can sound foolish, but I think Manchester United have to play hardball and they have to do it right. And the right way to do it is to get these goalkeepers out of the club as quick as possible, because both of them have proven time and time again, and they've both had opportunities time and time again, that they are not good enough, not just for Manchester United, but to play in the Premier League. We need goalkeepers that can come for crosses. We need goalkeepers that are willing to stand up and be counted for when it comes to a dead ball situation with corners. Now, again, Lemmy is 23 years old, but he looks already, for me, a better talent when it comes to these situations. Now, he's played in Belgium. He's not been capped for the Belgium football team yet. That'll come quickly. If he performs well with Manchester United, he'll be in that Belgium team, bang, straight away. But I think Manchester United have done the right thing. And I go as far to say, I know looking at the news, it's potentially a loan with an obligation to buy, but Onana is another one who's on ridiculous wages for the game time that he is going to be getting at Manchester United. He is literally dropping down to third choice keeper with this signing. How many clubs have a third choice goalkeeper on 120, 130 grand a week? It baffles me. So I think we've seen Amorim, and we had a moan about him with the Mainu situation last night, but we've seen Amorim not be afraid to make choices like this and not be afraid to go to the board and say, they ain't right for me. I don't want them in the club. Should have seen it after a week, to be honest, of being in charge of the club, that these two were not good enough. However, we can't cry over spilt milk. It's gone now. We are now moving forwards. But like I said last night, and I made a point of saying this, I think the transfer windows that we've had in the previous season and a half have been good. I do think they've been good. Donnarumma was never coming to United. That was never going to happen for the money he wanted. But what we're doing here is we are bringing in players that the manager wants, and also that the people behind the scenes have had a look at. Only time is going to tell with the youngsters that we've signed if the scouts have done their jobs correctly. We know for a long time Manchester United scouts have just been appalling, absolutely appalling. We also know that we've missed out on some potential that have gone on to be big hitters. I'm more than happy to give this scouting team now, the way that we're changing it up, being more statistically driven. I'm willing to give them the chance to show that they're getting these things right. But let's go through some hellos. It is Friday as well. Happy Friday, everybody. I've lost my mouse here. Never, good to see you, my friend. And Moxie, as Moxie always says, if you're new, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Still growing, still getting there day by day. Brah, good to see you. I need to text you after this, actually, mate. And Jamie, good evening, mate, and hope everyone's well too. As I say, it's Friday. The weekend is upon us, thank the Lord. The only bad thing about the weekend being upon us is there's no football. It's international football, which, to be honest, I would rather watch Mrs. Robinson walk around Asda for 5 hours a day for the rest of my life than watch international football at this stage, because it's just pointless, absolutely pointless. But how are we feeling about this news, and what are we saying, chat? Is it a case of we keep one, or are you at the same point that I'm at? We just get rid of both of them if there is interest in them, and if we can make a fee on being there, because I think out of the two of them, he is the one that we're most likely to be able to get a transfer fee out of. Or do we keep one of them? I don't think there's anything wrong with Manchester United cutting their losses now and saying that's it. We've had our time with these players. They've had their chances. It's time to go. It would make a massive statement as well. It really would make a massive statement. Now, some would tell you, oh, well, Manchester United are going into the season really, really out of their depth here in the goalkeeping department. But the argument to that is we've been out of our depth in the goalkeeping department for the last 2 years with these two bozos. They've been nowhere near good enough. Bayindir had his moment of magic against Arsenal in the FA Cup, and we all sit there and we say, yeah, brilliant, he did well in the third round of the FA Cup. But since then, I think they've both been calamitous at best. They both look like they're absolutely terrified coming for a cross. Like Bayindir, you kind of get it. He's quite slight, but Onana's a big boy. He should be coming out and claiming these balls, but he just does exactly the same as Bayindir. Hello, Jasp. He flies past and he's like that with the ball. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. So I think we make a statement here. I genuinely think we make a statement and say, cut our losses with both. Bring in a transfer fee for Bayindir. We can use that in January as well. And just move on from them. Absolutely move on. Straight away, Chappie says, get rid of them both. Jamie says, get rid of both. And Moxie says, might go to Carlisle versus Drury game in the National League on Saturday. Honestly, I implore anybody on this channel, if you've got a non-league game around you, go and show your support. These grassroots teams absolutely need the money. And when you're not watching your big club, Manchester United, go and put your money behind the bars at these places. It definitely helps them. Jasper is in the house, although he's very annoyed because I haven't fed him yet. I've been too busy. My local non-league team, Carlisle. I go up through Carlisle quite a lot, Moxie. When I go to watch Queen of the South play in Scotland, we always go through. What's the pub? Is it the Griffin? Do you go to the Griffin in Carlisle at all? We call that the best one pint pub in England, because it's just perfect for when we get in the train. Now, the other news as well today, which I love this. I love it when we speak about something and then the night after it's all over the news that this is what Manchester United are looking at. And it's simple. Manchester United are now actively looking at the players whose contracts are going to be out at the end of the season. Two of them we absolutely know, Harry Maguire and Casemiro. Two big players there. Casemiro will play a lot of football for Manchester United this season. Whether you like it or whether you lump it, he is going to be an important part of this squad. Same goes with Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire hasn't started many games yet. He played in that abysmal game against Grimsby, but he is also going to be a big part of the club this season. I think it spells good news for Manchester United that they're actively looking at this. It wouldn't surprise me if Harry Maguire is the player that they give the contract to. I think, for where we are, unless we're going to go out there and blitz the transfer market next summer, and that all depends on us getting European football, remember, I think out of the two, he'll be the one that stays. His wages, I think he's on, 250? Is he on 250? Let me have a quick look. Chat. How much do we think Harry Maguire is on a week? Harry Maguire's wages. He is on 190 grand a week. Okay, so straight away, not that for 1 second I genuinely think Harry Maguire would be asking for 200k a week. I think Harry Maguire is the sort of guy that would turn around and say, well, yeah, give me 150 and I'll stay for a couple more years. So I think Manchester United with these two players, if they're going to keep one of them or if they're going to bin both of them off, it's good news for Manchester United because it shows that we are absolutely still going to be changing this squad. This squad in the next two transfer windows is going to be completely changed. I was very much against the idea that we go out and do something in January. However, it wouldn't surprise me the fact that we've not done anything at the end of the window if we were to go out there and sort something out. Now, there are reports that we're looking at Lavia from Chelsea. If that boy could stay fit, that would be a hell of a steal. But at the moment, I still don't trust him to play more than 2 games a week. But I think Manchester United will be active. And also, you go as far to say, who were the ones that we said were out of contract this summer? Manchester United. Out of contract players. Let's have a look. So it was Malacia, Maguire, and I think it was, who was it? Oh, it's Tom Heaton. Well, Tom Heaton. Tom Heaton we don't need to worry about because we know Vitek will probably come back and be the guy that my hair's a mess. Will come back and take that place. So of those two players, Malacia we won't really discuss. There's no point because he's not in the squad at all anyway. But that's nearly 500 grand a week that we're going to be saving on 2 players. Now, Manchester United, we know straight away, are not the club anymore to go out there and spend 300k a week on a player. But it frees up not only squad spaces, it frees up the wage. And Manchester United, the way that they've been doing their business, would probably go out and get 3 players for what we're paying for 2. So I'm not saying that it's time to get excited for next year's transfer window because it's going to be a while. Yeah, it's 9 months away, isn't it? But what I will say is I don't think this will roll on very long with Manchester United in contracts for the players who are out of contract. We know Malacia, if he doesn't go before the end of the transfer window, will quite possibly already be told that we're not going to extend. Casemiro, I think, will be exactly the same. He will probably know, I reckon, by December time that he's leaving the club. And look, if he's a smart man, which I think he is, he will already know that his time at the club is coming to an end. The only reason he didn't leave in the summer was because he didn't want to unsettle himself with the World Cup coming up. And look, you can't moan at that. You can't sit there and say, well, screw this guy. At the end of the day, he's on big wages. We would have struggled to move him on. He didn't want to go to the Saudi League. I think the most likely route now for Casemiro, he will finish the season with Manchester United, probably go to the World Cup with Brazil, and then I think he will end his career in Brazil, which is, it is what it is. It's poetic. It's what footballers do. Harry Maguire, he will go with our best wishes. He'll stay in the Premier League, and it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up at somewhere like Everton. But again, it's a player that, has won a couple of trophies here, but goes with our best wishes. Absolutely does. But then it reshapes what Manchester United look like next season, because as much as Harry Maguire had a decent pre-season, Maguire does have his limitations, and we do need to sign a younger centre-back who is more agile and who is, I think, got a higher ceiling. Harry Maguire has been very much Roy of the Rovers his entire career. You look at Harry Maguire and everything about him, I think, says you wouldn't expect this guy to have got so many caps as he has for England. You wouldn't have expected him to play for one of the biggest clubs in the world for a transfer fee that he commanded. So Royal are over stuff for him, and he doesn't. I have no issue with the bloke. I have absolutely no issue. If he was to go in January, absolutely fine. I would commend him, and I'd say thank you very much for everything that you've done. But off you go. But then it'll change the way that Manchester United are looking next season. Midfield, we know, is a big problem. Will it get sorted in January? People will absolutely have you believe that in January we go and we get a midfielder. I think we could potentially do it, but it'd have to be for the right price. It wouldn't surprise me if in January we went out there and loaned a midfielder. But look, I've been wrong before, people. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong several times on this channel. That's why you beautiful people always come in and remind me of that and tell me to keep myself in check. Jamie says, I'd love to go watch Walsall, but being disabled makes it makes it hard, and no one likes footy around me. Jamie, if ever I've got a Saturday where I'm not with Mrs. Robinson, I will happily go with you to a football game, my man. Absolutely happily. I've got no problem with coming and going and watching a game with you, mate. In fact, if you'd have given me more notice, I would have took you tomorrow, but Mrs. Robinson will have plenty planned for me with it being a Saturday off with no football. But in future, have a look at the games, have a look at the non-league fixtures, or have a look at the Walsall fixtures, and I would be happy to come up with you and have a watch, mate. Just don't tell them I'm from Shrewsbury, because I don't think we'd make it out alive. Moxie says, oh yeah, the Griffin, I went all over with them back in the day. They had that fake Stretford end up during the rebuild, and limited tickets went to 2 Football League trophies finals in 1995 and 97. 1-1. Very good, mate. Good to see. You're going to Asda now. I will be going to Asda tomorrow. It also looks like this is Bruno's last season at United too. That's what he seems to be hinting recently. Plenty of space for new midfielders next summer, I doubt, in January. And do you know something, Dominic? Well, welcome. Great to see you. And make sure you hit a like, people. This Manchester United team is, as I said, it is going to look ridiculously different next season. Because we spoke last night, and we'll go through them again now. Casemiro, potentially Maguire, Malacia, Heaton, Bruno Fernandes. Who else is there that will potentially go? Who else is there? There's plenty more. Ugarte, if we could get a buyer. Dallo, if we could get a buyer. Luke Shaw might go. 8 players. We saw a mass exodus this season. Now, it wasn't exactly how we hoped. It wasn't exactly how we dreamed. Some of them went on loan. Some of them went right at the deadline. I don't think Manchester United will have that problem next summer, because a lot of these players that are going to go, we know Casemiro's on big wages, he'll go on a free, but the other ones aren't on ridiculous wages. So Manchester United next summer will be in a much better space when it comes to selling players. Garnacho is our 3rd or 4th highest selling player ever. That shows how far the club have fallen. That shows how far. Chappie says, but what if they stay? Which ones? Which ones, Chappie? Because Maguire and Casemiro, it's on us to allow them to stay. Bruno will definitely go. I put my name on it. Bruno Fernandes after the World Cup will go. He will go and he will play. You think about it, he'll be 31 then. Unless it's a Champions League club, a big club, which it won't be. Let's be honest. I don't think people will be banging down the door for Bruno at his age at that point. Maybe a Napoli or someone like that in Italy, or an AC Milan or an Inter Milan, which you could see him going. Other than that, I don't think he goes anywhere else but Saudi. I really don't. So for me, next season, we are going to see a massively different United team. Now, the work for that is all going to come down to the people behind the scene, but it's also going to be on Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim must honestly be absolutely buzzing and excited about next summer. He will know that this is going to happen. He'll know that there is another, rebuild Mark II coming. But he has to be in the job for that. So this is why I'm hoping that Manchester United really start to pull up trees in the coming weeks in the Premier League. Because if this manager can get them, all singing from the same hymn sheet, and then he brings in players that better us in the departments where we are still lacking, this team could go on and do things. But we need to make sure that we absolutely... I tell you what, that is annoying me, by the way. 2 seconds. Why have I never noticed that before? I'm amazed you lot haven't ever told me this. Let's do that. There we go. That's better. If you see a blonde wig in the background, don't be worried. I'm not a serial killer. I'm going to Butlins in 3 weeks' time, and I'm going dressed as 11 from Stranger Things. I'm going to hide that because people are going to see that in the chat and they're going to think that it's bloody. It's one. It looks. It's in. Who cares? It's in the corner. So yeah, the whole team. Jesus Christ, Jack, you made me jump then. The whole thing is going to change. The whole situation. Jamie says I keep Harry as backup. To be fair, yeah, but look, I love Harry Maguire. You know how much I love Harry, and when he scored against Lyon, and also that the wing play he did, brilliant. But with us wanting to become a serious outfit, there's not going to be any room for sentiment. There's not going to be any room for, but it's Harry Maguire, slabhead. We love him. We need to change that up now, and we need to make sure that we're bringing in players that bring something to this club, that bring something to what we're going to do. Hell, that is why Manchester United are doing what they're doing now with the goalkeepers. You know, they've identified that these two bozos are not good enough. If you're late to the channel, just a quick recap. Manchester United are looking at getting rid of one, if not two, of the goalkeepers that we have. We are becoming an outfit now that I think is identifying the issue and just trying to tackle it head on by getting rid of them. And look, these two are probably two of the remaining ones that you sit there and go, what do they bring to the team? Malassi is in his own bubble, bless him. But these two goalkeepers, you look at it and I say, there's no way that they bring anything to the team. Them playing in the football team does not make us stronger. It makes us weaker. And I think with the first 4 games of the season, Manchester United have finally lost patience. And I genuinely feel like Manchester United looked at this at the start of the season and went, let's try and get through this season with the 2 goalkeepers. Let's just try our best to get through it. Then the mistakes happened and they went, we're going to have to sort something out. And I think that absolutely happened. They need to make sure that it absolutely happens and that 1, if not 2 of them go now, because they can't flirt with this. They can't release it through the channels that we're trying to get rid of them, and then we end up stuck. And also with Lemmy coming in, I just wonder now, Onana will have absolutely been told. Him and his agent will have been told, you didn't get a Spaleba, you're out the club. I'm lying. They wouldn't have said that. But they would have I think he's absolutely been told that you have no future at this club. And look, I'd like to think he's not a stupid person. I'd like to think he's a smart man. And I'd like to think that he's looked at the fact we signed this keeper and knows that his time is over and he is so down the pecking order. But what we can't do is allow this player to stay on the books for the money he is on, being in the position he is in the team. Because this isn't a situation where we've all had it where we've seen the likes of Schweinsteiger not being played by Mourinho, and we all said, come on, we want him to play, get him on the pitch, get him on. And then finally they relent and they put him on, and then he has that lovely farewell and off he goes. There is nobody in the fan base that wants these 2 players at the club. There is nobody that would be absolutely even if Lemmy come in and dropped mistake after mistake, nobody would sit here and say, Onana's got to get back in. I think the fan base will absolutely be more lenient with that keeper. Baba Flossie says, why would Bruno go when he's earning 350k a week? Well, his contract is up at the end of next season anyway, Baba Flossie. So his head was turned at the start of this season. And don't forget, if Saudi come in for him, he won't be earning 350k a week, will he? He'll be earning 500, 700, 800, 900 thousand a week. So he will definitely not worry about that. Definitely not. Moxie says, I definitely think Bruno will go at the end of the season. Maybe Collier comes back from loan as a squad player and bring 2 more midfielders in. We also need another striker, a top-class centre-back and a right wing-back. Collier's got it all to do this season for me, and I will keep a close eye on Collier because I thought at the start of pre-season this guy was like 18, 19, and I thought, he's going to break through, but he's 21. By the end of the season, he'll be 22. You have to look at the team. You have to look at the player, in correlation with other players at his age. And is he at the standard that they are? And you have to say definitely not. You have to say definitely not. You worry about his ceiling there. Now, as a squad player, I think he could come in and do something. And we have had late bloomers. I mean, Darren Fletcher, when he first was playing for United, coming on in games, you looked at him and you went, this kid's not going to last. I remember him starting out as a winger. I remember his bloody shitty little rat tail he had at the back of his head. And I remember thinking, this kid won't do anything. But then we utilised him as a squad player. He then grew from that, pushed himself in training, worked hard, and ended up becoming, before his illness, a big-time player for Manchester United. When we would line up against Liverpool or Chelsea or Arsenal, if he wasn't in the first 11, I'd be going, you need Darren Fletcher because he just gets it. He is the epitome of a big time player. So what I'm trying to say is Collier this season has to take the opportunity by both hands, and he has to come on as a player, and he has to improve as a player. The Championship is a mean league. We know that. He will have to make sure that he is fighting and scrapping. Okay, so we will see. We'll see. I think you should pop it on for us. I'll pop it on. I popped it on yesterday, to be fair. I mean, Mrs. Robinson's going to see a blonde head and think that there's another woman here. Let's have a look. Hang on. There we go. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That is going to be... I definitely don't suit blondes. If you've just joined, this isn't one of them channels. I'm just giving the people what they want. That stinks as well, Nath. I'm not looking forward to wearing that for a fucking night. We struggle to attract the best players. I worry we'll have a few aging players. Yeah, but Chappie, I don't think we do. We've brought Cunha in. We've brought Brian in. Sesko, the jury's out for a lot of people, but he is a big player. I don't think that's an issue. And I think, look, the way you attract these players is by getting into better competitions. By getting into the Europa League, you will start to get more players come with interest to Manchester United. Now, of course, the best of the best want to play in the Champions League. But guess what? So do Manchester United. And who knows what the season holds? Because I've said this, and we've had a whole conversation on this, so I won't bore you too much with this. But other teams in the Premier League haven't hit the ground running yet. I speak to Liverpool fans who are of the same opinion that Liverpool still haven't looked like they've come out of first gear yet. There's still like some deficiencies there. So Manchester United, I'm not saying we're going to qualify for Champions League, but what I will say, and I do mean this, is that Manchester United should be trying to take advantage of these clubs in their current predicaments. And one of the first ones is going to be Man City. Man City are absolutely on the floor at the moment. Pep Guardiola will be sat there going, what the fuck is going wrong here? Manchester United can absolutely take advantage of that. Yes, we haven't had the greatest of starts, but we're ahead of them in the table. We always get up for it with big clubs. So who knows where we finish this season? Give me one reason why you love Maguire for his defend. No, look, Baba, the reason I love Maguire is because of the moments we've had from him. We've had moments from him that you go, oh, God, he's been such a weapon some games. But then he goes and takes players on the wing and gets a crossing that you'd expect someone like Jadon Sancho to have been able to do. He scores the winner against Lyon. And you look at him and you go, oh, just love this bloke. And you know what? Like I said before, Harry Maguire isn't built like most footballers. You look at him and you don't think Premier League footballer. He's always had the feel to me. He's one of us. He's one of us. Do you know what I mean? He's a regular bloke. That's why I love him. His defending ability sometimes is more than questionable. Chappie says, yeah, make sure you're liking and subscribing, people. Make sure you do so. Definitely helps the channel. Morehouse looks like he's thriving in just the first few games. I think at Leyton Orient looks like a great midfield prospect. Dominic, I agree. The thing I will say with Manchester United, just waving at the neighbour there, the thing I will say about Manchester United here, I've convinced you thinks I'm talking to myself, is that we have a lot of youth. We have a lot of youth that are going out on loan now and getting their first-team football. You've got Harry Amas going out there, which I think is a great move by Manchester United, sending him to Sheffield Wednesday and cutting his teeth playing in a league that he will get beat up in. We've got obviously Whitehouse, we've got Collier, we've got, we can't really say Wheatley, I'm not sure what you'll do anything, but these players are going out there and getting the first team football. The problem we have is the under 23s. The under 23s is the biggest joke in football. I don't see any player go in there. And I mean, like, why would you want to go and play? Why would you want to go play a Liverpool side that has Jay Spearing in it, who is what, 40 now? He's got to be 40. He's got to be somewhere near. The under 23s are shite. The youth leagues and the reserve leagues used to be so much better because they would go out there and they'd play teams with these nasty, nasty bastards in them. And they would learn more about it. So Manchester United, I honestly think, should have a feeder club in like League One. League One or lower etches of the Championship. They should have a feeder club that they go and they send all these young talents to and who go and get their experience. Doesn't really happen as much anymore. Jarl, hope you're well, mate. I haven't seen you for a while. He says Collier has played in 3 games and played a total of 30 minutes, so 10 minutes a game. His rating is 6.53, which is not good. I think he joined there quite late, didn't he? How are West Brom doing at the moment? Haven't West Brom had a decent start to the season? So it'll be hard for him at the moment to get into. Yeah, they're second in the league, so he's not going to come in there and take the place of someone who's doing already quite decent, is he? He's going to have to work and get himself in there. I forgot that Ryan Mason was manager of fucking West Brom. That's mental. Yeah, mate, you wait till 3 weeks' time, mate. You won't be saying that then. When I'm saying, do me a wait for me. Giles says it does look like Pep is handcuffing. He's not handcuffing his players. Look at Grealish when he got freedom at Everton. He has been really good. Yeah, well, people have said this plenty of times, haven't they? And I've said this. And when it comes to us playing City, I'm going to try and get LB on the channel because I would be very, very interested to know what his thoughts are on this City team and whether he thinks that Pep is now starting to enter the end of his cycle, because I still think that. I genuinely do. Manchester United, in what world do Manchester United go into a game against Manchester City at the Etihad, and as fans we sit here and go, we could go there and absolutely get a result. The times are changing in the Premier League, and the big hitters like City and Liverpool, who have been big hitters for so long, are really starting to struggle. I think so. Not Liverpool, sorry, City and Villa, and of course Newcastle. Liverpool are definitely not. Moxie says, I see what you're saying about Collier, but he hasn't had much opportunity. Like you say, he has to do well at West Brom this season to get into Amorim's thoughts. I can see a potential in the 6 or the 8. And yeah, I agree, but I just think age could be his biggest enemy here, though, Moxie. This isn't a 17, 18-year-old lad going out there and doing it. He's 21. When's he turned 22? Let's have a quick look. Collier. Age. Let's have a look. So he's 22 in January. 22 in January. He looks so much like Brandon Williams. It's ridiculous. He looks so much like Brandon Williams. Bonkers, that is. So I think time's running out for him. I think time's against him. Mama Bomba says, would it have made any difference if we had De Ligt instead of Maguire? We do have De Ligt instead of Maguire. Or do you mean, I don't know what, I'm assuming you mean against Grimsby. I don't know, I mean, De Ligt ended the game, didn't he, against Grimsby? He come on in that game. Him coming on didn't change the game. United just went for it gung-ho. I think it was just an attitude issue in that game. I think the players and the manager completely underestimated what it meant to play in the second round of a competition against a team that they deemed as beneath them. And yeah, in league position, they were beneath us, but in playing style, in heart and determination, they were light years above us. Just get them out and bring Vitek back when we can. Vitek, the comment about Vitek, is there, I don't know if there's a clause in Vitek's loan. I can't see as that there's a. I can't see as there's a loan in play. Sorry, a clause to break that. I don't think there is. Red Devil United. I don't think there's a clause that allows us to bring him back, but I'm not sure. Will we see a collab stream with Dan United and Red Devil United? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Is it Rich? Is it Rich? I don't think it is Rich. Is it Rich? Let's have a look. Red Devil United. Honestly, I've had the busiest day at work today that my head is absolutely frazzled. I think it is Rich, isn't it? Yeah, it is Rich. I've been on with Rich before. Top bloke. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah. Of course we will. We'll see Rich on here. I am going to do a panel show soon. It's just, I'll be honest with you, chat. Work has just been absolutely abysmal, and the problem that, and I think Rich will probably attest to this. I don't know if Rich is full time in this or if he's, I don't know, but doing this with a full-time job and especially being the general manager of a hell of a load of people, you have to try and plan your day properly. Plus being married with Mrs. Robinson, plus the cats as well. That's why I've started the membership, because it's pushing me now to do different things. Bloody hell, Jasper, you went through the fucking floor there. What is exciting for me is the 3 players promoted to the first team now. Shea Lacey, Kone, and the dude with the long name, Biancheri. Biancheri's mint. That Biancheri is mint. I love the look of this kid. I'd love for Kone to take the DM spot by the end of the season. The thing is with that, Jarl, I don't see Kone doing that. I don't. I think Kone's probably a couple of years off doing that. What I'd like to see Kone do, What I'd have loved to see Kone do would have had minutes in the Carabao Cup, but that's completely gone to shit. We've only got one other cup competition, and that's the FA Cup. Now, the FA Cup, we're going at the third round. Our luck in the FA Cup with drawing big clubs has been abysmal. So I'd like to see him come in and have minutes. I would like to see that. But unfortunately, I think this season isn't the season we're going to see it. I think he should have had minutes in the tour in America. Didn't happen. But this kid's got a lot of potential. Make no mistake about it. And it's a good thing. It is a good thing that we're looking at players like this. And there's no problem with next season him coming into the preseason, maybe the end of the season when the legs are tired. But as for him taking the spot by the end of this season, that won't happen, I don't think. There we go. I thought it was. Sorry, Rich. It's been a long day, mate. It is what comes with a promotion. It genuinely is. I mean, my eyes, look at me. You think I've been bloody smoking weed? I haven't. It's been a busy week. But again, we can't moan. It puts money in my pocket, and it puts food on the table, and it buys Mrs. Robinson a lot of makeup and expensive perfume. And it bought this MacBook, to be honest. So what can I say? I've been working on a £3 million project myself. Been really busy with work. 3 million. Jesus Christ. Jesus, Joel. What do you do for a living, dude? What do you do for a living? That's mental. And Kone has been out injured anyway. Exactly that. Now, guys, I'm having a day off tomorrow because England are playing, and there's no point in watching England because I'll be honest with you, it bores me to tears. So I'm going to have a lot. I've got little errands I need to do, and I need to sort out the thumbnails for the channel moving forward. So I'm going to be a busy boy regardless of not streaming tomorrow. But I will be back on Sunday at 6:30. Now, I am going to release some stuff. I think it's only fair that you beautiful people know that there is problems. There is things coming to this channel, some exciting things, and I think I can't wait, actually. I can't wait to tell you all what it will be. But when I do announce it, I think you'll be excited. What have we got here? Hi, Dan. So what's going on? Parv, if you're late, guys, before we go, the thing that has happened is Manchester United have decided enough is enough. And we are looking at getting rid of both keepers before the end of the transfer window for Saudi Arabia and, of course, Turkey. Will they both go? I certainly hope so. I think there's still a will that we can do that. And I would have no problem with sticking with Heaton as number 2 until the end of the season. But only time will tell with that. We've got to, like I've said, send a message here with these players. We know that we know they're not good enough. We absolutely know they're not good enough. The club are now intimating and proving it by trying to get them out of the club that they're not good enough too. Will Manchester United succeed in getting rid of them? Well, that remains to be seen. I draw indoor gardens, and this is a project on many new houses. Bloody hell. Fantastic, that is, Jal. Our keepers next year could be Vitek and Lammens. Vitek is so good for Bristol. And look, if Vitek continues on the rise that he is having with Bristol City, and Lemmy does well coming to this club this season, using it to bed in and then move forwards, then you've got 2 goalkeepers rivaling a spot that could do so for the next 10 years. And that is a brilliant place for Manchester United to be in. We have been blessed for so long to have longevity with good goalkeepers. At the moment, it is like hot potatoes, not just in the time they're here, but the way they are with a bloody ball. I bloody treat Mrs. Robinson enough, chappy. Don't you bloody worry about that. And yes, remember to like and subscribe, people. It definitely helps the channel out, and you are all legends for doing so. And I think Lammens will start in the Man City game. The more and more I see this news coming out, the more and more I think it might happen. But we will have to see. It's, a week and a bit until we see that. Anyway, guys, nice and quick tonight. I've got stuff I need to crack on with. It has been fantastic talking to you, beautiful people. I will see you all on Sunday. Let's see what news we have before then. Let's see what I can release for you all, as well as news about the channel. We will be doing panel shows, and there will be new things on it. Other than that, make sure you have a phenomenal Friday. I hope you're all fantastic. Enjoy it. I will see you all on the flip side. Dan United. Ota! Booyah!